This is the Sim Pit. I'm your host, Sean Cole, and welcome to today's edition of the Pit Stop, where you guys, my sim racing friends, are all the real star of the show because you always have my back and you always carry the great conversation about what we're here to talk about. And what are we here to talk about? Well, sim racing. That's what we do. That's what we do here. We do sim racing. We talk about various different sims and what's going on in the communities for each of those sims. And we have a good time doing it, and hopefully we get some good conversation about a couple of these topics. A lot of them are just letting you know so you can know. So starting off with Forza, just so you can know, they're kind of getting you inspired. Mark your calendars. The Forza RC, the Road Championship, 2018 season races towards the finish line in London. So next month on the 20th and 21st in London at that new Gfinity eSports arena is where the finals are going to be. So, obviously, if you're in the UK, obviously, if you're a fan of Forza, you are going to want to get there. They have a little video there, so this is at Xbox Wire, but it's the promo for the Get Ready for the Forza World Championship taking place in London, October 20th and 21st. So that is going to be the biggest prize in all of Forza, really. I mean, this is the best of the best, the guys that we've talked about all season long. The true eSport champions on the Forza side. So anyway, if you aren't going to be in the London area, you will be able to just kind of watch it, you know, online, I'm sure. Gran Turismo, yes! Jamal, we're going to talk about that logo. That's something else coming up later this evening that everybody can check out. Gran Turismo, not to be outdone, you know, they have their own eSport world and things going on. So they have a take a lap around the circuit to St. Croix. The host of round 8 of the final season of the FIA Certified GT Championships. I have a feeling that their final season is sort of a little misleading. That implies like that's the end of it, but in reality, I can only imagine we're going to see more from Gran Turismo in the near future. Project Cars had this post, and I just, you know, I like cool rigs. And GT Omegas are a fine rig, not trying to take anything away from it. But when I look at how much gear this guy has all around and how many items he's purchased, how much equipment he has, I think, wow, just a GT Omega, huh? No offense to GT Omega. It's a great rig, but I just see, like, multiple button boxes, multiple shifters, multiple displays. Quite an elaborate rig. So my hat's off to who built this rig. It was sent in and posted on Project Cars. This comes from Flatman from South Wales, UK. So, I don't know, maybe you'll be able to meet Johnny Flatman over at the eSport finale there in London. Who knows? Maybe he'll drop down to London for that. What else? Formula One has another video. This is the 3rd episode of the story of the Pro Draft, and we've had a lot of talk about the Pro Draft. We've talked about how it was legitimate on one hand and how it was a little misleading on another hand. I don't know if I can say that I'm 100% in a favor of the way it all played out. However, it is what it is. And all these guys have gone on to have Billy Strange. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend any GT Omega owners out there. It's actually a very, very fine rig. That guy spent tens of thousands of dollars, it seems, and I just wonder what point you, I don't know, you do a DIY. You know, I guess what is the pro rig? You know, that's a great topic. Thank you, Billy. I just think, okay, so you really think about the low end to high end of rigs, and for the most part, you sort of have a range of, let's just say, $300 to $1,000. You know, there aren't a lot of really, really expensive rigs, and the ones that are really expensive, honestly, they're usually like profile rigs, which means you might as well and could have just been a do-it-yourselfer anyway. But it is a little interesting that we don't see more really elaborately done rigs. Rigs that just are, you know, I think to like when the Human Racing was one of my rigs and it had this artistic value to it. And as much as I love that rig, it still had things that could have been improved. It still was like minimalistic in its own way. Anyway, I just thought that if you had to say the one thing that I would replace next if I was this guy, well, I'd probably move into a DIY. Yeah, maybe a Super Deathmobile or something, perhaps. I don't know. I love the R-Seat N1. Those are really outrageously expensive. I guess if you're looking for an over-the-top purpose-built rig that you can just buy, I'm sponsored by R-Seat, sure, but the N1 is gigantic. Yeah, the Hoonigans. Now, that was, Tom, that's exactly what I'm talking about. The Hoonigans did an elaborate rig, and I think maybe they went a little too far over the top because they made it take up just way, way, way too much space. But, I'm just trying to think back on rigs. Maybe Darren will remember. Ted Hayes was his name. It was that metal rig. I think Vasaro has something that looks kind of like it too. Actually, we're going to talk about the Australian competition. That one motion sim looks like it. But it was a little very elaborate. I think of the Fanatic rig that just needed like maybe a few more generations of it built upon to become one of those elaborate, really cool cockpit rigs. For the most part, though, you know, you think about the rigs that we get, and I love them all, but at the same time, they're nothing but a seat, wheel, and pedal holder. So, there you go. Little diversion there. You can check out the story on Season 1 Draft, Episode 3. That's via Formula 1. Is who actually posted the video. Yeah, I can't remember his rig name. It was, yes, and it was really cool. He had that, like, overly done metal nose on it that was like a secondary piece of metal. Anyway, sippy cups. Sippy cups. Thank you, Hendo. All right, yeah, Thawman, yeah, see, we'll spend thousands all around our rig, but the rig, you know, I mean, but what do you need it to do? What do you really need out of a rig? I need it to hold my seat. I need it to hold my pedals and my wheels firmly. That's it. But I see these rigs. I'm going to bring it up again. And, you know, he's not alone. I see a lot of people who've really starting to get this, like, 360-degree effect of their rig. Sorry, I just bumped my microphone. And, you know, maybe wanting racing art or extra wheels or things hanging in there. Yes, he needs an air conditioner for sure, Pizza Frenzy Man. So, anyway, I'm sorry. We turned this into a straight-up talk show, but I am 100% fine with that. What else we have? Race Room. Tom Coronel presents Zandvoort. Zandvoort is round 3 in that FIA WTCR race, and he's going to show you the way around Zandvoort in this video that you'll find at the Race Room thread. And anyway, the leaderboard is now running, and I'd love to see where you guys, I'd love to see where I fall on this. Let me look for any of my friends. Well, Kevin Siggy, I can't say he's a friend, but I've certainly broadcast races with him in it. Oh, Benzie Banky. This is one of the hot shots of sim racing right now. I see Jack Keatley, good friend of mine, good friend of the show, avid chronic racing. And so, Oscaro eSport. You know, this whole Oscaro. All right, we're going to have so many diversions today. Get ready. Buckle up. We're going to be here an hour. Can someone please explain to me what Oscaro means? I am seeing Oscaro taking over every eSport competition, but then I look and here's Team Oscaro. Well, I have a little bit of an issue with that. I mean, I would hate for one of the teams in the NBA to be owned by or sponsored by the NBA, if you know what I mean. How do you, or is that an independent? I see a ton of Oscaro eSport drivers on that. No, T-Bone, we are 6 days away from ACC Stage 1. Stage 1 will be 1 car, 1 track, and no multiplayer. Yes, diversions, get a thumbs up. Codemasters also has Codemasters. They have a post here, another. Lee Mather, he's certainly getting out there, and it looks like this was a in-house. No way! Billy Strange's mother is on top of the leaderboard. Second. Look at that. Look at that. Congratulations, Mom. Anyway, if you want to hear some thoughts on F1 2018 from the game director, Lee Mather, You can watch that video. You'll find it at Codemasters on YouTube or via their Twitter page. What else? iRacing. Yesterday was the big update, right? So we saw Kokomo come into the service. In addition to that, we saw the new Camaro into the service. Don't forget, because they're posting it 2 hours ago, about the Mazda Hotlap Championship or Challenge. And you can actually win a VIP trip to the 2019 Rolex Daytona 24. That would be an awesome prize. In addition to that, there are some release notes. Where are my release notes? Things that came out yesterday. So again, the Camaro, Kokomo, upgraded Michigan, 2 Atlanta Motor Speedway Rallycross configurations. So that's 2 new Rallycross added to existing tracks. Huge iRacing beta interface performance update. Oh god, this beta thing. How long will that be beta, and how long will it be till it's like desirable and we can call it alpha and I'll start using it? I was thinking the same thing, Tom. Climber's mom's not gonna like that at all. Inside joke to everybody there, but what else? iRacing download delivery option, blah blah blah. Some other things, lots of changes. And you know, the thing about iRacing, I'm showing you these release notes, but here's the saddest thing of all. If you're not an iRacing member, it's almost hard to find these notes, because as we've always said, iRacing is in that fortress. If you're not inside of that paywall, you don't even get to know what's going on for the most part. But within their forum, you will find the entire release notes, everything that happened to the sim yesterday. What else? Also, they have another video, top 10. I keep clacking my pedal plate. Sorry about that. Top 10 highlights from last month in the world of iRacing. So, again, here's a side-by-side for half a lap. Again, because this is becoming a common story in those GT3 series. And you can check out that video at iRacing's Twitter feed as well. Thank you, Quasi. Billy Strange is an alien baby. We need kryptonite to slow the guy down. I believe it was a week ago, all of the, whatever they're calling the annual pass, whatever, people with Crew 2 already got it. But today is when the new Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio comes out, along with that Brutal Dragster RR 2017. You can check that out for you you crew people, the crew. GT Sport Update 1.26 released, brings Fanatic updates and bug fixes. So the big part of that being Fanatic updates. Don't know what kind of integration. Is that more wheels being supported, or is that just integration for certain features? Found that at GT Planet. So shocking how much is still going on for GT Sport and even Forza 7 when you think about it. Fanatic has some pictures. We talked about that event in Amsterdam for Formula 1. We saw the Red Bull play seat yesterday. I thought this picture is like, man, whoever took this should get a job in photography. I guess they have a job in photography, but this could be a great promotional picture right here. I mean, you got great color, you got great expressions on everybody involved, and I wish I had the capability of taking a shot of the moment as well as that. Another shot there, beautiful lady giving sim racing a try. And her boyfriend judging her every move. So cool shots there out of Fanatic we're seeing. We are 24 hours away from semifinal number 1 from San Marino GP. This is in Moto GP. We've been talking about that eSport. Kokomo seems even more Mickey Mouse. Heiko's got the dirt racing bug. And no, it does not count as a straight. No, that's a ring. That's a circle. That's an oval. Literally an oval. Anyway, in 24 hours, so at 9:30 a.m. tomorrow, so I guess that's 24 hours and 15 minutes from now, we will be able to watch semifinal number 1 live of the MotoGP eSport Championship. Whoops. Race Department has an article here on Assetto Corsa Competizione Physics blog post. So I haven't been following. I didn't even know there was an Assetto Corsa Competizione Physics blog. Apparently I'm going to have to add that to my watch list for the show. But they do have the full write-up here of some thoughts and some inside opinions on what's going on with the physics side of things. Like here they start talking about ABS and traction control systems, things like that. So for those who can't wait 6 more days to try it for yourself, or for those who really need to know what's under the hood, you will find this whole discussion on the physics side of things for Competizione at Race Department. Excuse me. Automotive World has an article here talking about BMW Group building new driving simulation center in Munich. You know, there's no pictures. Like, this shows you my attention span or intelligence, depending on how you want to judge me. But here's a whole article about a sim center in Munich and BMW, and they can't even give me a photo of an existing sim center. Can't even a photo of a BMW for that matter. But apparently BMW is working on a very official driving simulation center in Munich. That could be cool. Tech Zone on YouTube had this. Someone sent this in to me. Actually, it was posted in the patron chat. 7 mind-blowing gaming technologies that you must have. So if you want to know where the future of gaming is, here's a guy in a motion simulator with VR playing some DCS, I do believe. And I've never ridden in that sim. That's kind of cool. What else we got? There are a few others. I'm not going to play the whole video because, of course... Oh, yeah, these are like little potential... little... Oh, what do you call the thing that's in your phone that can tell what direction and where it's going? Anyway, these are little sensors you put on your feet that turn into movements in-game. None of this was really sim racing specific, but it was just a good look at the future and things. I know they get into some haptic devices and some augmented reality. There we go. Those look like old NVIDIA glasses to me. I don't even... Those are the... that's so funny. That's such a fudged thing. Those are NVIDIA 3D glasses. I can't imagine this is any kind of a working system. It's all a demonstration. What else? No. Assetto Corsa is not out. 6 days. 6 days. And... Alright. KitGuru talking about AMD expanding the CPU lineup with Athlon and Ryzen Pro. Some specs on those things, you'll find that at KitGuru. Also at KitGuru, you're going to find an article here talking about RTX 20 series will exclusively house Micron's GDR6 memory at launch. So some more details about that. That's all over my head for you tech people. I hope you can explain to me what that really means. Team VV is showing off the new V Rally Around the World gameplay Part 3. So this is just showing you some of the scenarios, some of the tracks, some of the regions that you're going to be able to play in V-Rally, which is really close to coming out. What else? PC gaming component prices to rise by 15 to 30% as U.S. tariffs soar. So the threat was on the horizon. I'm not calling it. I'm just saying what I see. But anyway... it looks like we could be seeing the beginning of new tariff pricing here in the United States. So I am not going to run to the store and buy anything yet. I think that deals might still be able to get us beyond whatever that is. I'm hoping. I'm also hoping that if things go up, that maybe the market will stabilize. Who knows? Who knows? But this trade thing could affect our gaming prices, being that most of that stuff comes from areas that we're having trade issues with. CulturedVultures.com has their top 10 list. I'm just going to blow through them, and you can tell me if you think their list sucks or is actually pretty on point. But number 10, The Crew 2, haven't played it. Number 9, Assetto Corsa Ultimate Edition. Number 8, Redout, never played it. Number 7, Project Cars. They don't even differentiate Project Cars 2, so I already question everything. Number 6, Gran Turismo Sport. Number 5, Dirt 4. Number 4, Burnout Paradise Remastered. Number 3, Wipeout Omega Collection. I think I played like the original Wipeout once. Number 2, Sprint Vector. Never even heard of it. And number 1, is this backwards? All right, I'll give you my opinion. Number 1, Drive Club. There you go. Fajita, you need to learn to not make those comments in the chat. And I'm not trying to call you out, but if you notice the way that I discussed this article, I don't want to turn it into a politics debate. So you can say whatever you want. The article states all that I'm willing to talk about and discuss on my show, and that being that the current U.S. tariffs could hit us by 15 to 30%. I don't want to turn it into, because what you said there isn't as simple as your statement. What you said there invites a very long-winded discussion from all different sides. I'm not even going to say both sides, and it's not simplified as one statement. So forgive me for calling you out, but I don't want political debate happening, and sometimes politics comes into our world as gamers or sim racers, whether you're talking prices of our components, whether you're talking net neutrality. That's the angle and what I'm willing to talk about, or have discussed on the show for that matter. So anyway, that's all. Crap list. That list sucked. Viveport, another one of those services for the Vive, is now going to start working with the Oculus Rift as well. So they're going to start adding Oculus Rift support to Viveport. So I saw that on something else also. Another streaming service that was now including Oculus and hadn't been prior to that. Didn't we see that as well? What else? HTC's Vive wireless adapter is now available to pre-order starting at $300. We knew it was coming. We knew it was going to be $300, and now you can actually get your pre-orders in for the Vive wireless unit. What else we got? GT Planet mentioning, I just talked about new games. Next week is a big week. Next week we've got what? V-Rally. We've got NASCAR Heat 3, and we have the first generation of Assetto Corsa Competizione all coming out. Dakar's coming out September 11th. Or 25th. I'm sorry, it was going to be 11th. It's now the 25th. Lots going on. So V-Rally comes out today. Oh, V-Rally release date September 25th on the PC, today for the consoles. Pizza Frenzy, man, I don't know if I want you bashing them. If you want to bring up the relevant point of how it affects video card pricing, or has in the past, or will in the future, sure. Do I want to bash on them? No, I'd like to keep bashing to a minimum. What else we got? NASCAR Heat 3, September 7th. That's tomorrow. PlayStation 4, Xbox, and PC. Assetto Corsa Competizione, obviously, on the 12th. And then we've got Dakar. Forza Horizon 4, October 2nd. Ride 3 just kind of came out. Or no, I'm sorry, Ride 3 in November. Gear Club Unlimited 2 on Switch before the end of the year. So lots of releases coming out between now and the end of the year. Tech Radar talking about the AMD Navi release date. So this is the next technology video cards. They talked about Vega video cards coming out and really putting the competition down against the GTX brand, or NVIDIA product. So the next gens, this article is all about the new release date, news, and rumors of the next gen cards. We're all going to learn to love the Lamborghini, John. John says he hates the Lamborghini. That's going to be the car that came out on the first thing. The first stage of the game, it's coming out with the Lamborghini. So yes, we're all going to have to learn to love the Lamborghini. Missed something there, Booth. I don't know what I can confirm. All right. Motor racing, Formula One sees eSport as an Olympic opportunity. So we just talked about that ruling that the IOC had made, and maybe that only pertained to games that have involved violence. I don't know how discrimination became part of it as well. The push is still on. Formula One still wants on. There's talk about it being a demonstration sport in the 2024 Paris Olympics. So the argument still rages on as far as eSport into the Olympics. eSport Insider talking about McLaren teaming up to bring competition to the Bahrain region. So we're now seeing just this expansion and explosion of eSport, and it's being done on a global level. It's being done on a geographical level in various different areas. There's a lot of eSport going on, and you know, if you can't, maybe your kids will. I just mentioned this the other day, but Homestead Miami, not only that's where they're going to have the finale. So when you think of the eSport champion on their iRacing thing, it'll already be settled. They're going to be walking the stage at Homestead. In the case of NASCAR Heat, the actual finale is going to go on at Homestead, it looks like, with the NASCAR finale championship weekend, whatever they call it as well. What else? All right, we are over time, so let's keep going. And this is what they're rolling. Someone said, nice looking truck. Motorsport has the article, but 704 Games launches NASCAR Heat Champions Road to Miami tournament. And this hauler, it looks like it's going to be going from event to event. Look at that, coincidentally, $10,000 in prizes, building up starting September 7th. So it looks like they're going to be out there this weekend at NASCAR, and you can do that. So there you go. Checkered flag, McLaren. We just mentioned the Bahrain article. Same article, different variation. The checkeredflag.co.uk talking McLaren Shadow Project announces Middle Eastern eSport expansion. So Middle East is one of our growing areas. Oh, Fahita's a great buddy of mine, or a good friend of the show and everything. No. I just, again, I need to keep control because one comment leads to 10 more, and when it's on point, I don't mind, but when we take a huge diversion, I sort of do. John Hill, you can't open your mouth without it being political. And anybody who knows John Hill knows what I'm talking about. I don't think I offended John at all. Fox Sports talking about 21st Century Fox investing $100 million into social broadcasting platform Caffeine. What is the future for us streamers? Is it Twitch? Is it YouTube? Where will we all end up being? I don't know, but I can tell you this. 20th Century Fox is really going strong with this project Caffeine, and something in a platform that I might have to look out for myself. What else? We talked about the regional competitions. Don't forget, and this is now getting very, very close. So if you are down under, then you gotta consider this one. F4 test up for grabs in eSports round. So this is that whole Millennium eSport thing going on at Shannon's National. This is going to be September 21st through 23rd, and everybody is no, Fahid, I know you weren't trying to offend. No, and that's the rig I was talking about earlier. No, I agree. Trade and tariff go hand in hand, absolutely. But again, for the show's purpose, I only want to talk about how they affect us. I don't want to open up the topic to trade and tariff, because there are plenty of other shows on YouTube that you can do that all day long. So in case anybody here was wondering what that logo in the bottom left down there floating was, that is for the Lionheart Racing Series. And you've heard me speak so highly of these guys. Anyway, we are the main sponsor on the big Retro Series event of the year, the SimPit 250. It's going on tonight at 9:35 Central Time. That's tonight. 100 laps at Indy in the Retro 79, the Lotus 79 car. Really, really cool racing series. And one thing I'll tell you, I've admired, and I love working with Lionheart Racing Series, both for the IndyCar and the Retro Series, because I've admired their league for many years. And I've run with them at various different points. and I have always kind of been in awe because they are absolutely one of the premier open-wheeled series in all of iRacing. So, be sure to check that out tonight on iRacing Live. GSRC will be doing the broadcast, and we are the title sponsor, and that's what that logo floating down there, because we are the main thing, and we are definitely behind them, and I'll be trying to check out that race at some point this evening for sure. So, anyway, that is going to do it. I don't have any other news. I can bring up the other Lionheart graphic. Oh, I didn't really need to do that. Well, you saw it peeking through. Been a while since we talked about the Sim Pit map. Where are you guys from? Are you on the map? Do we know where you're watching and where you're sim racing from? If we don't, be sure to email me, Sean, SHAUN @thesimpit.com, and I'll add you the map. And of course, if you know of any stories, anything we need to talk about here on the show, be sure to email me with that as well. That's going to do it for today. Thank you for watching. This is the Sim Pit. I'm Sean Cole, and I'll see you on the track.